This is Jeb Blunt, and it's Money Monday on the Sales Gravy Podcast.
Say make money, money, make money, money, money. Make money, money, make money, money, money. Money makes the world go round. I'm the talk around town. Remy gave me the sound.
Hey, everybody. Welcome back to another Money Monday on the Sales Gravy Podcast. I'm Gina Tremarco, Master Sales Trainer and Improviser, here to kick off your week with ideas that will help you sell more like a human. Today's episode is about how to be the linchpin in your prospects or clients' world. I'll share with you 3 strategies that separate good salespeople from unforgettable ones, which includes how to build deeper connections, how to leverage genuine curiosity, and how to become an indispensable consultant. Before we get into it, let's define what I mean by linchpin. A linchpin literally is the small pin that holds a wheel on its axle. It keeps everything connected and moving forward. Figuratively, a linchpin is the person others rely on to hold things together. In sales, that means being more than a vendor or order taker. It means being that trusted advisor your buyers turn to for guidance, validation, and expertise. I've seen it over and over again. Salespeople behaving badly, treating prospects and clients like transactions instead of relationships. But a linchpin is someone a buyer can't imagine doing business without. They don't just buy from you, they believe in you. They want your guidance. They rely on your consistency. And they trust that when things get messy, you'll help them make sense of it all. So why do sellers stay vendors? They stay in the vendor zone because it's safe. You quote, you pitch, you follow up, you move on, you hit your metrics, you check your boxes. But safety doesn't create loyalty. Loyalty comes from making others look good. And that's where my improv world and the sales world beautifully collide. On an improv stage, this concept of making others look good is the key to success. If you don't tune in to your partner on stage, the scene, and sometimes the whole show dies. The same thing happens in sales. Your prospect knows when you're waiting for your turn to talk, focusing on yourself instead of them. They can feel when you're performing and making it all about you. When you focus on genuine relationship building rather than interrogations and presentations, you create a safe space for becoming a sought-after linchpin. So my first strategy in becoming a linchpin is by building emotional connection. And the best way to do this is through your ability to read the room, which includes being able to identify and interpret behavior, knowing when to lean in and when to back off. Think about the last time a buyer seemed distracted or cold. Did you push harder? Did you walk away afraid you might seem pushy? Or did you pause long enough to ask yourself, what's really happening here? Linchpin sellers don't let their own thought distortions run away with them, nor do they take behavior at face value. Instead, they interpret the reactions or lack of. They ask themselves, is this person overwhelmed? Are they skeptical because of a bad past experience? Or are they just thinking deeply because they need time to process? Here are some techniques that I use, both in improv and sales, to improve my ability to read buyer emotions. Number 1, match and mirror subtly, because overtly would seem odd. Notice their pace, tone, and energy, and do what they do. People feel safer with people who move at a similar rhythm. You may have heard this referred to as similarity bias. Number 2, channel your inside voice to use your outside voice and say what you're thinking. Things like, it sounds like this project has a lot of pressure behind it, or you seem hesitant. Can I ask what's causing that? We use this technique a lot during improv shows when our scene partners are vague and not communicative in what they're saying. And it works really well as a pattern disruption to get someone's attention. I've even said, what are you scared of right now? When getting a buying objection. Politely naming emotions and behaviors opens doors. And by the way, I did indeed close the deal when I asked the prospect that bold question about his fears. Number 3, embrace the silence. This is my absolute favorite. During an improv show, When the performers get stuck, they confidently stop speaking until they have something relevant to say. And that's when the audience physically moves in to hear what's not being said. Silence doesn't mean rejection or disinterest. It just means that the buyer is thinking, absorbing, and processing. This is where most salespeople misstep by opening their mouths too soon because they can't handle the quiet. Being able to read people is magic and empathy in motion, but it's also a lot of work. You have to take the time to do this and be patient. 5 extra minutes is often what stands between winning and losing a deal when you don't practice shutting up. Another quality that rarely gets enough attention in sales is curiosity. When you're curious, you're genuinely interested in other people. What makes them tick? What drives their decisions? What matters most to them? And even what they do for fun on the weekends. Curiosity shows that you care about the person, not just the prospect. And it helps you move past small talk and into real conversations. When you show up to serve instead of showing up to sell, you naturally become more curious. You start asking questions to understand what your customers actually need and want. From there, you can start to build a solution together. That's the moment you become the linchpin, the person your buyer sees as essential to solving their problems. That kind of curiosity builds deep, lasting trust. And when you lead with curiosity, you uncover common ground, the shared experiences, values, and perspectives that make you relatable and credible in the buyer's eyes. I'm so passionate about curiosity that it's become part of my everyday vernacular during discovery calls. I'll often say, I'm so curious about, and then fill in the blank. That one phrase alone opens the door to deeper conversations. If you have ever found yourself in an awkward silence going forward, use that line. I'm so curious about. Most buyers will jump right in and the conversation will flow naturally. Your job is to listen, take notes, and get even more curious as they open up. And that's how you stay present, build rapport, and earn the kind of trust that turns a single sale into a long-term relationship. Now, here are a couple techniques that you can use for curiosity. Number one, ask one more question that feels comfortable. When your buyer answers, don't jump in to your pitch. Instead, say, oh, tell me more about that. Or what else is behind that concern? That extra question is where the truth often lies. Number two, replace judgment with wonder. When a prospect makes an odd request, don't think, that's ridiculous. Think, I wonder what's driving that. That one mindset shift changes your energy completely, and they can feel it. Number three, prep curiosity prompts before each meeting. Write down 3 open-ended questions that start with how or what. Like, how will this impact your team's workload? Or what happens if nothing changes? Those questions uncover motivation. And here's a bonus. Play detective, not debater. Your job isn't to win the argument. It's to find the truth. Curiosity keeps those conversations alive and keeps buyers engaged. In sales, curiosity helps you uncover the real problem, not just the surface complaint. The most magnetic salespeople ask questions their buyers haven't even thought to ask themselves. It shows that you're a human solution finder and not an AI bot. And here's my final strategy. Strategy number 3. Another way to become a linchpin in sales is by evolving into an indispensable consultant. My favorite thing to hear from a client is, I really value your opinion and insight. That's when I know that they see me as an advisor and working together is inevitable. Most salespeople understand the concept of being consultative, asking questions, offering insights, guiding decisions. But the best consultative salespeople take it a step further. This is your opportunity to become so valuable that your client's success feels harder to imagine without you. When you become indispensable, it means things don't function properly without you. In plain terms, if you're indispensable, people need you, not just want you. You bring unique value that can't easily be replaced because nobody is you. So how do you actually do that? Here are some additional techniques for going beyond being helpful and starting to become essential. First, Diagnose before you recommend. Don't rush to fix. Take time to fully understand the client's situation. Ask deeper questions, look for patterns, and confirm what really matters before offering solutions. You'll gain trust faster through understanding and not urgency. Second, teach through insight. Help your clients see their business or challenge from a new angle. Bring context, data, or perspective they haven't considered. When you walk away from a meeting thinking differently because of you, you're no longer just a vendor, you're a resource. And third, lead with consistency and integrity. Show up when it's easy, but also show up when it's not. Be steady, dependable, and transparent, especially when outcomes are uncertain. Indispensable consultants don't disappear when things get complicated. They stay close, communicate clearly, and make it easier for clients to move forward with confidence. When you do those three things, understand deeply, teach clearly, and lead consistently, you become more than a salesperson. You become part of your client's strategy. So as we wrap up, here's one more thought I want to share with you. Being a linchpin isn't about what you sell. Being a linchpin is about how you show up for the buyer. When markets shift or leadership changes, your product might change, but your presence and who you are should not change. People will always buy you first. Jeb wrote a book about that. Show up curious, listen for meaning, not just for answers. Teach what you know. Stay steady when others panic. This approach will help you move from being one of many to being the one they call first. And that's how you go from vendor to linchpin. Thanks for joining me for Money Monday on the Sales Gravy podcast. I'm Gina Tremarco, reminding you to start this week focused on connection, curiosity, and consultancy to be the linchpin in your buyer's life.
Survival of the fittest, you can sink or swim. I've been broke, I ain't never going back again. I need some C notes, some cheddar, and a stack of ends. I need a bowl of dough, I don't need no Facebook friends. I need a pack of them snaps, a handful of Fetty Wops, and rubber band on my greenbacks. Look, dawg, don't be playing with my paper. I need every red cent, that's why I brought my little scraper.